Hey friends, welcome to Thirst Impressions. I'm Kevin, and today we're talking about Calvados, Confederacy, and colonialism.
And I'm Will.
I'm Belinda.
I'm Spencer, and I'm here to penetrate your life as always.
Boom, boom, boom.
Well, I was talking to a friend today. She's a PhD. She has a PhD, but we're talking about Japanese culture and how in Japanese culture, sexuality is not shunned per se, or rather, I should say, they have outlets, right? In terms of animated porn or just porn in general. But some of the media is very violent, but her hypothesis or theory or observation is that because of that, because they have those outlets, you don't have as much like actual violence like the US. We're here, we're kind of operating on this like lingering puritanical Victorian mindset as far as sexuality and violence and trying to control what people consume. And I think it creates problems.
Yeah, it's kind of like porn, kind of how stuff, but
like you think that's a great point, Will. You think for the state of Utah, where it's majority conservative religious, that you would have low incidence, right? If this is the best way forward, but it's not the case. Like you have fucked up things happening here. Yeah. And I think it's because people just have to pursue subversive means to express themselves, or at least get that outlet, as opposed to just being like, hey, here's something for you. Go for it.
Right.
It would be interesting to explore where the idea of media consumption equaling like translating into violent or like hypersexualized behavior came from. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like where it's not in the scriptures that I know of. Like and
even
media back then.
Even as a parent, like I hesitate like with the games they play or things they watch, even though I know like as a kid I watched and participated in violent things. There's just almost this hesitation. I don't know.
Well, it's like you don't want to desensitize them from it.
I guess so, but it's not really desensitized. I don't know. It feels hypocritical on my part because I know my childhood. Like I watch a shit ton of TV, but I don't love when my kids watch a lot of TV. And maybe Kevin and Belinda can relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, my parents thought I didn't watch very much TV, but I watched a shit ton.
I watched so much fucking TV, man. Like, but I had great grades. Like, I got my homework done. Same. I did shit, whatever. Yeah. Did okay, but I consumed so much media. I was playing Quake and Doom every day till like 5 a.m, like just crazy shit.
Those are like the most peaceful games. I don't know what you're talking about.
Man, I could no scope people with that railgun. I was so good. I was so good.
I don't even know what those words mean.
It just means that when you're playing a video game, you don't zoom in and target someone and kill them. Like you're just in harmony with you're in harmony with the game. You just know when you position your weapon a certain way, you're just gonna pick
in harmony with the game. I envision
it's like
setting down the controller and meditating and just playing the game through his meditation.
It's like that's what it feels like. It feels like you're meditating.
It does feel like
absolutely. That. So I have no idea which direction the show is going to go today, but what are we drinking?
We are drinking brandy.
Brandy, not the singer.
No, not today anyway. But no, we've talked a lot about kind of the standard spirits, which after watching Ghost Stories last night means something different to me and Belinda. I terrified her by watching the satanic one, but
wait, what movie did you watch, Kevin?
No, it wasn't a movie. It's
like Ghost Hunters or something.
Ghost Adventures, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's silly.
I thought you said Ghostbusters, and that scared Belinda, and I was just like, "What are you talking?"
Yeah, we had covered
all that wasted marshmallow. Just
we've covered the big five. We've had gin, we've had whiskey, we've had vodka,
tequila,
gin, whiskey, vodka. I wouldn't consider tequila one of the big five.
No, it's not a big
tequila.
Five. No.
and rum. We've covered the big five.
And we've done wine a couple times. We've done a couple types of whiskey. So I thought, Spencer and I were talking a couple nights ago, and we were talking about
Let's try
brandy.
something different.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, have you tried this Calvados?"
I've never tried it either.
I hadn't to that point. I've had lots of other kinds of brandy, not lots, but several types of brandy.
Is brandy the same thing as cognac, basically, or no?
No.
Okay.
Yes and no. It is a fortified wine of sorts. If you kind of classify alcohol into either beer or wine, and then everything that's a higher proof is a fortified, a distilled version of beer or wine.
Yeah.
Easily you can say, well, whiskey's just beer that's been distilled, right? So it's a higher proof and it gives it a different flavor and whatnot.
So either grain or fruit, right?
Right. Things like cognac or other things like cognac's grapes that have just been distilled. But cognac in particular is, we've talked about this a little bit before, is a protected region or protected type of alcohol. And so like champagne is one of those, cognac is one of those. Interestingly enough, a lot of people think bourbon is one of those, and they assume it has to be made in Kentucky or Tennessee or kind of the South, but that's actually not true. You can make bourbon anywhere. Same with Japanese whiskey. You can make Japanese whiskey anywhere too, legally. But Calvados, so brandy is basically a distilled fruit wine, if you will. A lot of brandy is apple brandy, or you'll see like apricot brandy, you'll see pear brandy. I'm trying to think of some of the others I've had more recently, but so Calvados is a region in France, and there are certain guidelines that distillers have to follow. Whiskey's pulling your shirt down there.
I know.
Whiskey's getting frisky.
Yeah, exactly. But Calvados is just so Calvados isn't a brand, it's a type of brandy. And there are different types of brands. This one we're drinking,
it smells so good.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't even read the name of the brand, but Calvados is only made in France, just like champagne, and has to be barrel aged for a minimum of 2 years in an oak barrel. And it's mostly apples, but sometimes includes pears too. But there's very distinct rules for making Calvados. So that's what we're drinking tonight.
I will say it smells really fucking good, but then when you taste it, the taste is not
what you
doesn't
smelled.
hit you as much as it smells. You know what I mean? Like it smells like apples and pears on a spring day.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you're drinking, you're like, holy fuck, this is actually 40% alcohol.
Yeah, the smell
it really hits you.
Sweet, but a little tart.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's good. But then it's boozy. Yeah, it definitely lays down the smack. It's not one of these weaker distilled spirits.
So yeah, the cocktail we're gonna make today uses Calvados. We've got triple sec, or if you have orange liqueur, that works as well. We're using Pernod. It's an Anise liqueur. If you have Ouzo, you can use that. If you have Absinthe, you can probably use that too. But I happen to have some Pernod. Will's got some Ouzo. Ouzo. I don't know how to say it, but
Ouzo.
Okay.
And I'm using
Absinthe
and Belinda's too, because
and
she was out,
then
so I gave her some.
Pineapple juice, which I forgot, so I'm gonna have to go get mine. But so we did kind of fuck around and make this before as well. Will's got the mega
Will's
can.
got the big boy.
Will's gonna be having tiki cocktails all week.
That's like a keg of pineapple juice.
I couldn't find the smaller cans, man.
God
so
damn,
we're all gonna follow this recipe. We'll post the recipe for sure in the show notes and in the description. In the video. But I'm gonna add a little bit of lime or lemon juice to mine. I just felt like I needed a little bit more
citrus
acid.
kick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna experiment live on the show as we record, but so the recipe is 1.5 ounces of Calvados, and this is a wet shake. So if you have a Boston shaker, or I don't even know what it's called, but the shaker with the strainer built in, you can use that as well. 1 ounce of triple sec. If you have orange liqueur, which if you've been following the podcast and making drinks with us, you may have some orange liqueur you could use. All right.
Exactly.
That's going to be Grand Marnier, Cointreau, something like that. And then we're going to have 1/2 ounce of Pernod. So that's an Anise liqueur. So like Kevin has the Absinthe, Will's got Ouzo. What are you using, Belinda?
I'm using Absinthe too. Like Kevin was saying, I was out, so he.
All right, I actually have
gave me a bit.
Pernod, so I'll be the one using actually Pernod. I don't even
official.
know. Actually, I don't know why I bought this. I just had it.
I was gonna say, I thought you hated that shit.
I do,
love
but
it.
I bought. I
love
think.
it.
Well, I've just Kevin, Belinda, you've been at my place. I'm trying to build out basically a full bar, so
Yeah.
I have everything you can imagine.
Yeah.
And so I think I just bought it out of curiosity once.
It's a pretty
And then
label.
You're like, I don't know.
And then I tasted it and I was like, what the fuck? I don't like this. I don't love absinthe. All right. I don't love absinthe.
I
And
enjoy
then-
it. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and then we're just using 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. So Will's got enough for everyone listening to the show.
Just stop by Will's house. He'll
Yeah.
pour you 1.5 ounces. Yeah.
Should we dox Will?
No. No thanks.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab my pineapple juice.
All right.
Yeah.
Could someone repeat the instructions?
You bet. 1.5 ounces of the brandy, the Calvados.
Oh, such a
Nice, that noise.
That's my
It's
favorite.
a good noise until you break your cork pulling it out, like I just did with my absinthe
Oh,
earlier.
dear.
Oh, 1.5 ounces.
1.5 ounces of that.
I'm running on for our listeners. I'm running on 0 hours of sleep today, so
It's true. So if Will nods off during the show, we'll just gently wake him.
Yes.
It'll be fine.
okay, 1.5 ounces.
Ounce of triple sec or orange liqueur. Looks like Cointreau on your end based on the
Yep, I've got
cap I'm seeing there.
Mm.
I like
That's.
the
I think it's one of the most beautiful bottles out there. To be
It
honest
is
with
pretty.
you.
You said
It's
an
just-
ounce.
An ounce, yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Little
And it's
sound
not
effect.
just the bottle, but I think the labeling, the font, everything's beautiful. 1/2 ounce of your Ouzo. Just throw out a tip from Kevin, just the tip. Ouzo is a wonderful drink that is very popular in Greece. That's where I was introduced to it. And you generally would drink Ouzo straight. Maybe
Smells
with
really good.
a few drops of water. It's very anisey, kind of that black licorice taste. I love it. I think it's
I
beautiful.
like that.
It's strong. Don't get me wrong. It's strong.
If you
But I
love
like strong
black
flavors.
Twizzlers, you will love absinthe.
And then 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice.
I can tell you, if I had to choose between Come in My Eye or Absinthe, I'd probably go with Come in My Eye.
Have you ever gotten a cum
No.
burn in your
That's
eye?
not-
I have had Come in My Eye. It's intense.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's-
haven't, but I
Maybe that's a story for another time, but
Right?
Will is like, what the fuck?
No, I'm just trying to pour this pineapple juice.
He's like, now I have heard pineapple juice might help soothe said burn. But
Oh,
I mean,
that's right.
Pineapple does alter flavors, I hear.
Yeah, that's what I
hear.
hear too.
I don't know
I-
specifically.
Again,
1.5 ounces of pineapple.
yeah.
You'd
Yes.
think your own bodily fluids wouldn't sting so much, but
They do.
I
They do.
actually read this article this week saying that humans could actually become venomous. Like you could get this like some sort of virus or something, and it makes it so that like your saliva is actually venom.
That's interesting.
COVID.
Crazy, right?
To who? Other humans? Or-
Yeah. Like
so
it's
you're like
deadly.
making out with someone and they're like, oh my
Yeah.
fuck.
God.
Oh my god, that's terrifying and fascinating at the same time.
Right? Okay, well, I just spilt like so much of this pineapple juice, but
It's all right. Yesterday I pissed
It's all
all
right, it
over
tastes
my
good.
own hands. So
Just gotta clean it up
speaking of bodily fluids,
however you can.
I was up in a mountain and there's no bathroom, so I unzipped my pants and started peeing. and then the wind changed, and all of a sudden I was pissing all over my own hand. Yeah,
Kevin, your male privilege is showing by being able to
right.
just piss wherever you want.
Belinda pissed outside too. It's
I did.
fine.
Oh shit!
Yeah. There's no bathroom.
You gotta
up
do
there,
what you gotta do. Yeah.
All right, let's shake our cocktails. Let's shake them up. I'm gonna mute for a sec.
I'm a little bit behind you all, so all right. I got my orange liqueur here.
Is it served on the rocks?
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah, you can serve it on the rocks. I don't see any problem with that.
You can serve it on the rocks, but the recipe doesn't call for it. But it's fine. However you like.
You're probably fine. I mean, if you don't like ice in your cocktail, you could fine strain or use a Hawthorne strainer and keep most of the ice out, and you'll be fine.
It's boozy enough. Ice would not be a problem in it, right?
It's definitely a boozy cocktail. Definitely a boozy cocktail. It's not going to be super sweet. But if you want, at least for me, wanting that extra dimension, I'm going to go with a little bit of citrus. Just a little bit.
Can't wait to see how yours turns
and
out.
And the pineapple juice gives it a little bit of foam on the top. That's nice.
It's like the pisco sour we made, aquafaba.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to garnish with a little bit of the pear that Belinda left over at my house.
I love the pears. Yeah.
Because Calvados is made mostly from apples, but pears are also allowed. And making the brandy. And with the orange liqueur, I like the color of.
Proud to announce I acquired a new ice bucket. So.
Oh,
ooh.
How is that?
That is delightful.
Here, I'll wait to try it out till you guys are ready.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just garnishing, and it's not working out.
Shake
So
It's supposed to look like this, right?
Yep.
yeah.
Awesome. That means I didn't do it terribly wrong.
I swear I'm not jacking off. I'm just shaking my cocktail.
Yeah,
Oh
sure.
my god. Oh god. All right. Now this is, I mean, I love hanging and talking and all that, but this is one of my favorite parts where we all make our drink and we get to talk about how it tastes. All right.
Man, I wish my cat would be so peaceful like yours, Belinda.
Wow.
I know.
He did meow into the mic a minute ago. Hi, Whisk.
I totally forgot to add my lemon juice, but it's okay.
And our colors may be
next
slightly
round.
different, and because absinthe is slightly green usually.
Yeah, and I used Grand Marnier, so it's
exactly. So
be a
they might
little
not
bit
look
darker.
exactly the
Right.
same. But cheers, friends.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh,
Ooh,
That's
pretty good.
Really good.
it's a strong
Pretty good.
flavor, but it's kind of delicate almost.
It is. I mean, the pineapple does give a little bit of acidic.
Yeah.
Did you
No,
like the
to it.
lemon in it? It seems I could see lemon.
I forgot to
working.
add my lemon. I just
Oh,
added
okay.
some.
Oh.
We'll see how it is.
Okay.
Not shaken, so it's more
Yeah.
of a lemon float, but it should be good.
It's like
Stir it through.
sweet, but then I could taste the
the
ouzo.
ouzo, yeah.
For me, the lemon balances the sweet and the. I don't know if herbal is the right way to describe
No,
anise.
the anise. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's funny. I grew up calling it anise, so if I say anise, I mean anise. But the lemon, I think, balances for me personally. It's a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
It's herbal, but then the lemon cuts
Actually-
through some of the sweet and just
I could
for
see
me
that.
makes it perfect. Yeah.
Sounds good.
it's
yeah, I think I
it's
should do that.
interesting. The pineapple almost kind of disappears. Like the other flavors override the pineapple. I was expecting it to be more of a pineapple forward drink, but from my perspective, it doesn't come off as. Generally, I associate pineapple with like a rum drink, right? Like
I can still taste the Calvados though, which is interesting.
yeah.
So you get somewhat equitable representation of all the flavors. What do you think, Will?
I think it's delicious.
I don't taste the orange either, though. So
I get a little bit of the orange in the aftertaste, but we're all probably drinking different orange liqueurs too.
yeah.
Mine's just a cheapy, like literal orange liqueur.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they make a decent elderflower as well, Gelade.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
good liqueurs.
Totally,
yeah.
and
I could taste the orange with the ouzo kind of aftertaste. Like it's sweet, and then you can kind of taste the whatever it's called, the more complex flavors.
So, do you want to know something funny? I was just reminded of this weekend. Actually, we Belinda and I were given a gig. Well, it wasn't really a gig because we didn't get paid for it. But anyway,
you were doing
like
a favor,
like we were supposed to. Yeah, a favor that we thought was a paid gig, that turned out to apparently just be a favor. But we came up with a couple different drinks and bought all of the liquor out of our own, funds.
Yeah.
And we did make tips.
We did.
I guess we maybe almost paid for the liquor that we
probably
paid for,
yeah.
But it was what do you call it? It was
goth prom.
Goth prom.
Ooh.
And we were trying to think of like what's goth, what's a goth drink, and we came up with some good ones. But one of the more popular ones that we made was I just put activated charcoal in ouzo.
Oh,
and so it was black. It was like pitch black liquid, and it tastes like black licorice, and it was at a goth prom, and I was wearing black eyeliner. We'll put pictures of us in the show notes from it. It was fun. But that was actually one of the more people are like, oh my god, what is this? This is incredible. I'm like, it's literally just ouzo with some charcoal in it.
So what did the activated charcoal do? Just color it, or did it change the flavor itself?
It colors it kind of mellows the flavor.
It does. It dampens flavors a little bit. So when they add, if you see a cocktail on the menu that features something with charcoal, it's going to have kind of a milder flavor, which I don't always love. So
and sometimes, I mean, if you're at a nice bar or restaurant, usually they'll kind of try and balance the cocktail to make up for that. But it's almost always there just because it's black and they want the cocktail to be black, or a part of the cocktail to be black. So I've thought about doing some sort of, I don't know how to do it, but some sort of something I could float, on top.
That would be interesting. I've been experimenting a little bit with pea blossoms and just some teas, and then I'm gonna make some hibiscus vodka this week. So
I did some hibiscus tequila, and it was really good.
We talked about that pineapple tequila that we gobbled up last week, but Spencer's been messing around and
infusing stuff. Yeah.
Kind of reminding though too, I've got the CO2 cartridge.
Oh, that's right.
The cream whipper.
Whipped cream
for whippets, Kevin. For whippets. It's for getting high. Don't do that, kids.
But no, you can quick infuse like in 2 minutes. So we did a Chinese 5-spice whiskey one time.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
Really, really, really good. And like it's done and ready to go in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You pop all your stuff in there, put the canister on, give it a good shake, and
okay, that sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Release all the CO2 into it.
Yeah.
Shake it up good. Then you release the CO2. You don't like spray it out like or whatever. You release all that, the gas out of there. It's always like a little nerve-wracking for me because I'm like, oh, the thing's gonna explode in my hand or something.
Right.
Because I'm not super experienced with it.
Well, there was that model that died a few years ago from one of those cream whippers. Right. Yeah. Like it exploded and killed her.
Was she
so
is that the thing?
It's a lethal drink.
It is. It's like eating, what is it, puffer fish? Like I might die,
but it might be
makes
awesome.
It more exciting.
Yeah. Exactly. Whippets, obviously those would be illegal to do, so I would never do them. But
we would never advocate for or
from what I've heard
to do that.
Can be very interesting.
And they can be very dangerous too,
But they can be very dangerous, like all illicit drugs or legal drugs.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Stay in school.
Drugs.
And
stay golden, pony boy.
If kids are listening to this, we have bigger problems.
Yeah. Don't do any of the weird drugs, kids.
Yeah, only do
if you're my kids, just don't do any. Yeah.
What I tell
wait till you're much older.
What I tell my younger siblings is like, don't do anything stupid, but if you do it smartly. That's what I tell them.
Well,
I mean,
like
because
if you're gonna do something dumb, like if you're gonna go and drink, don't drink and drive. Like, just be smart about it, like that sort of thing.
Right. And that's why, like, when I've talked to my kids about some of these things before, whether it be alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever, um, like there's some things that are just, you're better able to handle them when you're an adult, and physically or whatever, your body's much more prepared, or your body's more prepared to receive them. That's a nice Mormon term for you. Anyway, it's been a kind of a weird week. There's a lot going on, but like nothing's like, I feel like every week, pretty much on the podcast so far, so all of 2021, it's like things are coming to fruition every week. Like they're coming to completion, if you will. But this is a week where there's a lot going on, but none of it's really culminated into anything yet. So we've got the Derek Chauvin trial, the man who publicly on record killed George Floyd.
Kevin, thank you for calling it the Derek Chauvin trial. Like people keep calling it the George Floyd trial, and it's like he's not on fucking trial. He was murdered. Like
often the prosecution does put them on trial, sadly, but you know.
And I do like to point out, like I did at the end there, the Derek Chauvin trial, the man who publicly
murdered him,
George Floyd,
because I don't want it to just sound like some little trial, you know.
I mean, like, let's take a moment and reflect. I mean, I remember as hard as it is, and I'm chuckling not because it's funny, but out of nervousness and hesitation and just the emotional weight of it all. But I saw the video, like I'd heard about it. I heard what happened, and as a Black person, you hear these things and you think, okay, another one, you know, another one of us has been murdered. But holy shit, when I saw that video, I was speechless. Like I was just overcome with emotion because I saw a man executed in public, recorded on video, albeit. That was some next level shit, man. Like I don't know what y'all have seen in your life, but this, to me, this was a new level of fucked upness, for lack of a better expression.
I've actually forced myself to watch some of the trial.
I can't. I haven't been able to.
And I'm not trying to say anyone else should, but I feel some sense of duty as a white man to watch the trial, which maybe sounds kind of stupid, but I'm like, I've got to remind myself. You guys know in our group text, I went off a little bit last night because yet another doesn't even describe, like every day there's new incidents of police violence against people of color every fucking day. And those are the ones that are reported.
Yeah, the ones we hear about, right?
Tons of other ones. There was the man in Virginia or whatnot, the guy in his uniform, military, a soldier who was actively serving. He got pulled over for a traffic violation, and the police just totally fucked with him. Like they gave him multiple commands that he couldn't do both of them. So he froze up because he was like, "You're telling me to put my hands out the window, but you're telling me to get out of the car. How can I can't. If I reach to open the door of the car, you're going to shoot me. You have a gun pulled on me." And he's like telling the police this. And so they come over and they mace him in the face and they do all this stuff. And then they're screaming at it. Oh, it was awful. I was so angry when I watched it. So I responded to all of you, but I forced myself to watch a little bit because I don't want it to blend into, I'm not saying the other people who are killed or injured or humiliated by the police aren't important. I'm not trying to say that, but there, you know, over the past year or so since George Floyd was killed, there's been, it started
a movement,
a massive movement. The movement was already kind of there and building, but it was like a tipping point of sorts.
Right. Really galvanized it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't want to use my privilege to say, well, that's going to make me feel bad and sad, so I'm not going to watch it. But obviously, that's my own. There's no judgment on anyone who can or cannot. I'm not, you, Spencer, I'm not a person of color, I'm not, all these things. But one of the things, and this is even hard to describe, a lot of what I've watched is the medical testimony. There's been multiple medical testimonies. But one was breaking down the video footage of one of the medical examiners showing from the video footage how he was being suffocated and like signs that he literally was fucking clawing for his life. Like they show him like trying to use his knuckles to push off the tire. They're compressing his chest. He can't get oxygen into his lungs. They're completely compressed. And then you die when you can't get air into your lungs, and you essentially, your brain dies. And then once your brain dies, the rest of your body just shuts down too. Yeah. So, but he tried to use his nose at one point. He puts his face down and is like he's trying to make a little space so he can breathe. Right. And then that whole statement that, Derek Chauvin used, that like, well, he says it in the video, if you can talk, you can breathe, stop fucking lying to me, blah, blah, blah. And the medical people are like, no, that's actually not true at all. Like here you can see, and it was just heart-wrenching. It was, you see person after person, whether it's first responders, men and women, even children, like 9-year-old children testified who were walking by during it, about their experience with it. And they all break down, like every single fucking one of them breaks down on this.
So I have friends who claim that systemic racism is not I'm not sure if the word is systematic or systemic, but whatever. Let's say
systemic, either way.
Pervasive mores and observations of people that look like myself that permeate society. I'll call it that. I'll be generous. Let's be magnanimous here. And it's frustrating because like, and this is literally my life, Kevin. Like, I know that when people see me, they perceive a threat. Right. And it makes me want to change my behavior, and it makes me want to shrink. I want to be seen, not in the sense that I want to be perceived as a threat, but rather I want to be seen as a human. But at the same time, I don't want to be seen because of what it means to be Black. And it's a weird feeling, and it's frustrating. It's hard. But I recognize that's what it is. And I'm not like accepting what Officer Chauvin did, but I understand why he likely acted in that way, because he was socialized and taught that if a Black person does XYZ, they're aggressive, they're violent, they're a beast, they're like all these memes, if you will, that create caricatures of who Black people are. It's unfortunate. It's really hard to deal with.
Well, and go ahead. The permissiveness of his profession, right? Like he pretty much had, a free card to do this, right? And it's been done a million times before, and no repercussions, pretty much for the most part, like for any of these police officers.
Do they call it qualified immunity, something like that?
Something like that, yeah. And like, so everybody else has gotten off this time, right? Why not him?
It's like, oh, my life was being threatened. How? You had your knee on this,
and he was handcuffed. Yeah, like he was not a threat, and so he's not getting away with it this time. Like, what's different? Like, I realized that, like, his killing him became a huge movement, and I think people realize this time around that if they don't do something serious, it's going to be a bigger problem. Like,
the scary thing about it for me too, and then I'll pass it on to Will. I know he's got some thoughts, but it's hard to talk about. But sorry. I've been in many situations, Kevin, Belinda, Will, you know me. I work really hard. I think I'm talented. I think I'm educated. And like, I'll go into these situations where I'm purchasing something. and you can feel the scrutiny. I mean, fuck, I went to Smith's today. Sorry, I shouldn't say what. I went to the grocery store today. And
say it.
I don't know. It's just one of these like it's one of these mind games that I have to deal with, which is okay. Are they watching me because this is what they do at the self checkout, or
they don't watch me?
Are they being extra scrutinizing because I am who I am? I don't know the answer, right? But they weren't standing next to the white person on the other side. And I saw this person change where they're standing, you know. So we have George Floyd, who was accused of using a counterfeit bill to make a purchase. Whether that's real or not, I don't know. I don't know all the facts. In any case, it's something that really hit home with me in this case, where you know, people had their suspicions, whatever. Maybe it had to do with how he looked, maybe not. But I've been in those situations, and I can tell you, like, I mean, shit, I'm not trying to flex here, but I have an Apple credit card. I've got good credit, whatever. It doesn't matter. They don't see that. They see, here's a person in our store who's likely to commit some crime or do some shit. So we're going to watch this person. And I feel it. And it sucks. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, I wonder
what if I go grocery shopping one day and I don't get to come home to my boys? Like that was the one thing that, not the one thing, but one of the things that was just so impactful. It's like, holy shit.
I think I mean there's clearly documented situations where you know, the city of New York and the police there
stop and frisk.
Yeah, I mean, where it was like trained and taught, like, people that fit this certain description, you stop them and frisk them. Like, you don't, they're guilty by the color of their skin, they're guilty by the way they dress, whatever. So clearly that happens in our society. But I'm thinking about Smith's. I often shop at a Smith's, not the same one as you, but one by me, and I would be actually very, very, very shocked to find out that they taught any of their employees, like, hey, if a person of color comes into the store, or hey, if someone who's
dressed a certain way or
transgender comes into the store, or someone who appears to be a man but is wearing a dress, or, you know, I would highly doubt that they have any kind of policy, official or unofficial, training wise for that. But it goes back to what you were talking about a little bit earlier. Like, it's built into our society. This is why it's systemic, right? Like, it's not just people being racist, it's people being taught to be racist from the time they're born.
What people keep on forgetting is racism never ended. We're not living in this golden age of like civil rights. Civil rights, the cause for civil rights struggled because their leaders kept on getting assassinated. We have a whole entire generation that's still alive during the time of Jim Crow.
Yes.
We have a whole entire...
People don't realize that, man.
We have generations right now that are living from the benefits that their parents and their grandparents won because of redlining, and because we built highways over Black communities and tore them down.
Or burned them to the ground.
50 or 60 years out from the police literally dropping bombs on Black Wall Street. Like, we are so close to that time. We're not the children of those people, of those racists that lived in that generation. The kids of those people are alive today. You don't think that they're still racist? They are. They're still racists. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm sure a lot of them have changed. I'm sure a lot of them have tried to enlighten themselves, but still they're taught those same fundamental racist lies.
I'm curious. I'm going to put y'all on the spot a little bit, because this is an interesting topic, segue, whatever. I was listening to a podcast, I think it was The Daily this week, about Tulsa. No, it wasn't The Daily. It was Start Here by ABC News. But they talked about Tulsa. They have a podcast series about what happened there. And what happened essentially, in a nutshell, if I were to paraphrase, summarize all this for our listeners, we can provide links. But after slaves were freed and Black people were under the thumb of Jim Crow, we formed communities on principles that were meant to be inclusive. You know, it wasn't that Black people were like, okay, we're only for Black people. Like, if you wanted to shop there on Black Wall Street, like Bill mentioned, you could. And people were so threatened by that yeah, they dropped bombs, they fuck shit up, right? So that was one thing. There was another story I became aware of. I was like, holy cow, what? Manhattan Beach, y'all are familiar in LA County, right?
Yeah.
Super prime real estate. There was a Black family, I forgot the name, I think it was Bush or Barnes, I don't remember, it was a B name. And literally the state took their property that was on the beach front, took it away from them, turned it into a lifeguard station, right? But I was encouraged by seeing the city say, hey, you know, we're going to return the land, and if the family wants to lease it back to us, cool. If not, we'll figure something out.
That was recently?
Yeah, so that happened this week. Yeah, there has to, as far as I understand it, there has to be some legislation passed in the state to make that happen. My question for you, because I have friends typically on the conservative spectrum politically, I'd say, hey, I didn't enslave your people, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. How do you feel about the idea of reparations, or at least the idea of making things right to some degree? Where do you stand? I don't know, because I haven't had these conversations with you individually.
Right. I don't know how it works. Right?
I'm not saying, I mean, hey,
Germany
Belinda,
made reparations,
you're responsible. Right? I'm not saying that, but
no.
How do you feel about it?
But our position in society is on the backs of enslaved people, right? Like, it's just where we are as people, as white people in America.
Right? No, I absolutely think we should have reparations.
I agree.
We gave reparations to all the Japanese and Asian Americans that we put into concentration camps here in America. Why not do the same thing with the slaves that built this country? America was built on the backs of slaves. That's like one of the starting points of American capitalism was on the backs of slaves. And I feel like there should be some way to pay that back.
I don't know how you pay that back. It's unpayable, right? Like the cost is astronomical.
Well, you start with small business loans. You start with free college for people of color. Yes. You start with, I mean, there's places to start. You start, right?
Right.
You don't say, well, this is the whole plan and this is all of it. And once it's done, it's done. You start somewhere. True. And you pass some sort of legislation that says that there is the Reparations Act or whatever that says, or maybe even fucking make it part of the Constitution or something that says, I don't know. It has to be significant, and it has to allow for time to understand the best way to do it.
Right.
And let's not leave out our friends in the Native American community.
Absolutely.
Because they were fucking murdered so that we could steal their land.
Yeah.
No, I think when I think of reparations, I don't think of it just as like, oh, we're going to send Black people X amount of money. I think of it more as like, no, reparations means that we actually try to make up for it. Because if you just send a check out to a whole bunch of folks, then everybody can say, oh, well, it's solved. There's no more to this problem.
Yeah, ta-da, it's all better.
Like, forget about it. No. What does legislation like Medicare for all and free college and what like the universal programs, who does that help the most? Minority communities and underprivileged communities and communities that have lesser privilege than all the rich people that get to actually use those systems. So if we actually make the systems equitable and have equal access for every single type of person, I feel like that's a step in the right directions towards towards reparations for that group of people.
I agree. The thing about like free college, which is amazing, and I wish that were the case in America, is that like there's so many like it ripples out. Like it's like
Yes.
there's so many issues that prevent somebody from even getting to the point that they can attend college, right?
I'm not trying to say that that's the solution. I'm saying
no. I'm
one
just
of
saying
many
like
things.
every single item, there's like so many things that like prevent someone of color from receiving it and getting the benefits from it, right? Like,
then let's fix those fucking things.
Right,
too.
I agree. Yeah.
To me, I don't think it's the solution. I think it is part of the solution.
A small part.
As well as actually accurately teaching history. Why the fuck are we teaching that
absolutely.
Malcolm X is an evil person?
No,
it wasn't.
Yeah,
he was amazing. He was a great leader.
Part of reparations should be financial, obviously.
Yeah. Yep.
But part of it should also be exactly what you're talking about, Will. We need to change the education system in this country. Yep. We need to change not just the education side of it, but the actual history books, and say, like, I don't know. Again, I don't know how to do this. You'd probably have to have some sort of board that involved people from a variety of races, a variety of backgrounds, a variety of political parties and ideologies and whatnot. But like, say, guess what? Starting, you probably need a decade to phase out old curriculum and old textbooks, because unfortunately you can't just wave a magic wand and make these things happen overnight. But like literally in a decade you could phase it, because usually schools like update books and stuff anyway, history books or whatever. But you phase it out and you say, by this year, everything has to go through some sort of like reparations type scrutiny to make sure that we are as accurately as we can teaching history as it happened, even if it's completely 100% unfavorable to the United States or to white people as a whole.
My understanding of textbooks used in public schools here in America is that Texas usually sets the standard.
Why is that? That's weird.
I can't remember why. I may be wrong about this, but I feel like I read something at some point where for some reason Texas, maybe it's like, because I think most of the textbooks are what is it, McGraw-Hill or whatever. Like there's like one of the bigger companies that's based in Texas, and Texas does something that a whole bunch of other school districts do across the nation. Again, I could be wrong about this, but think about that. Well, was Texas the most? Jesus. I mean, it wasn't really a state. Like, I mean, I guess it was. Like, it was in the South. It was, I don't know. I just feel like when I think of Texas, I don't think, oh, what a liberal state,
I remember I saw some sort of PBS special called The Revisionists or something like that talks about exactly what you're talking about. But I also read there's a book out there. There's a couple of them that are fairly similar, something along the lines of the history my teacher didn't teach me, or something like that. And it has a whole chapter about textbooks, and like most of them are published in and approved by school boards in the South. I think a lot of the publishing houses are in the South, and so kind of naturally over the years, those are the school boards that were close to the publishing house, so they let those school boards kind of like,
that's why open source textbooks are going to change the world.
I think that's one of the problems though with the education system as a whole is we cater to the lowest common denominator, and it sounds elitist, it sounds fucked up, whatever, but it's certainly more efficient to cater to the lowest common denominator, but it also creates problems. Lowest common denominator meaning cultural ideas, memes, norms, thoughts that relate to the South.
Yeah.
Is that really the standard we want to base things on? I don't think so. It creates problems.
You still have people in the South, and I guess not just the South anymore, that are flying a flag that a traitorous group of states used to attack
a loser flag. Yes,
right.
It is.
It's my culture, Will. It's my culture.
I know, but these are the same. Like, oh, I'm a patriot type of bullshit. These are literally people who betrayed our country, and they wave this flag around. It's nothing more than a racist dog whistle, and it's not even a dog whistle. It's just a bullhorn.
Yeah, it's not a dog whistle because it's been proven time and time again for the people who are like, it's just my culture, it's my heritage, it's my whatever.
Yeah, you're racist here.
Time and time again. Like, actually, it's not. Actually, it has nothing to do with your heritage. And actually, like, the positive aspects of the Confederacy or whatever that they try and, or, you know, that area during that time that they try and point out, weren't behind the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag was literally about fucking like saving slavery.
It literally was. It like
and is.
And this is like, it bothers me to no end. Sorry, I'm gonna cough. It bothers me to no end when people are like, oh, the Civil War wasn't about slavery. It was about states' rights. Yes, states' rights to have slaves.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Well, like, so going back to the catering to the lowest common denominator, did any of you see the article in the New York Times about that Polish town that decided to go LGBT free? And the mayor, so I guess, you know, there are a lot of conservatives in this town, and they decided, you know, this is an LGBT free zone. No gays allowed in this town.
Where is this? Poland?
It's in Poland, yeah. So the mayor is having deep regrets now. They're losing funding. They're the laughingstock of pretty much all of Europe, and just are getting the shit beat out of them, rightfully so, because of this stupid idea that, you know, there should not be, you know, gay rights in their town.
Do you know much about like the background of why they decided to?
No, I just remember reading the article and thinking, I mean, it sounds like something that would happen in Utah, to be honest.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I could totally see that happening.
I could see, like,
Utah.
You know,
Hiram, Utah,
right? LGBT
Panguitch.
I was gonna say Panguitch. That's crazy. But yeah, no, like, so I'm looking in the article right now, and yeah, I guess they've lost funding. They've, you know, just they're getting called out. As they should.
There seems to be, I know we've touched on these topics, I think lightly or in more deep ways in previous episodes, but I feel as though things are shifting. The Overton window is moving.
Right.
And conservatives are faced with a crisis. Like, are we going to change our platform to include more, for lack of a better word, inclusive points of view, or are we gonna double down and dig in? And you see what's happening in Georgia, you see what's happening in Texas, or what's in a lot of these southern states as they try to limit voting rights and access to voting for brown people. And I think it's a move to, rather than change the platform, to limit the access of people who find their views reprehensible.
How is it any different than literacy tests and like having land ownership? How is it any different than that?
It's not.
So in 50 years, I'm hoping this is the case. I'm hoping that in 50 years, people will look back at this time and be like, oh, this was the second wave of Jim Crow.
I hope so too, yeah.
And I know it's not separate but equal, but it kind of is. You separate communities by zip code. You can tell more about somebody's future by what zip code they're born in. That's how shitty of a country we live in right now. Yeah. We don't live in an equitable society yet. We're still striving for that.
And then with gerrymandering, we build based off of those zip codes.
Voting districts,
the ability for the vote to matter in certain places where certain
and it's interesting because I think left and right in many ways, there is a lot of overlap.
Sure.
We want like the idea that based on your own merits, you can achieve and do something great in your life. Let's just say that as a high level principle. Cool. Will's laughing. I'm just saying as a high level principle.
Yeah.
But you have to consider where we're starting out. If you, I don't mean you, Kevin, Belinda, Will, take my people's land away. I'm just saying, like, if fundamentally there is no place for me to even stand on, we're not starting on the same footing.
No.
I don't have generational wealth. My kids will be okay. I think, I've worked my ass off. My kids will be fine. But for me personally, it's hard because I'm not starting at the same place that many others do.
No.
And yet we are criticized literally, sometimes tangentially, like people creep all the way up to criticizing literally, like, and they characterize us as being lazy or being unmotivated or whatever, unintelligent. It's like, no, man, like there's so many forces at play that subjugate and keep us back. Like, you're not having to deal with that shit. Like, let's be real.
Absolutely. It's like, it's a stupid conservative thing where they're like, just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And then they take away your bootstraps and your
boots. Will, I agree. I've worked my ass off. I know what it's like. I work hard. Yes, the principle, the idea of working hard and reaping the rewards, cool. Yeah. But yo, if you're starting 400 yards ahead of me and in the 1,000-yard dash or whatever, that's not fair.
No.
Is the point. That is not fair. That's the point.
In the last couple of weeks, there's been some
go ahead.
So I, follow lots of, Insta accounts, lots of, people. And I noticed some of my favorite Instagrammers calling out another Instagrammer that I didn't follow about some racist posts that she'd made. And it was subtle, but she
often is.
It is. So she became famous by, she's like a self-help queen sort of thing, that all the Instagram famous ladies are, right? She wrote a book and, she made millions and has these big conferences and, whatever. She's an awful person. Rachel Hollis. I didn't even know who she was. She wrote the book called Girl, Wash Your Face, which I heard was kind of like
I've heard about that book.
Yeah, piece of shit book. Anyway, like, so I haven't read it. I saw some of my friends were going to read it for a book club and somebody was like, yeah, no, we're not going to read that book. But anyway, so she had a post one day talking about her toilet cleaner. Her toilet cleaner not being a product of like a cleaning product, a person that cleans her toilet.
Oh no.
Yes.
Wow.
And when somebody said that she was not relatable, and that this was a privileged idea, like to discuss this woman in terms of like her, I don't know, whatever. It was awful. Anyways,
first of all, the woman probably didn't just clean her toilets, and the fact that she called her toilet cleaner,
yeah,
shows exactly where her mind is.
Absolutely. She's posted another post later, a video saying she didn't want to be relatable. She didn't work this hard all her life to be relatable. And she worked her ass off to be able to afford a toilet cleaner. And everybody's like, so your toilet cleaner, she doesn't work hard? Like, she didn't marry a Disney executive like you did, lady, like, and have tons of money and be able to write a book and have all these opportunities to get your voice out there. It's not a level playing field.
That reminds me, Belinda, of some Twitter drama that happened this week. I'm like basically just like plugged right into Twitter. So
you are our Twitter representative.
I agree.
You always know what's happening, what the drama is. We're just like, okay, Will.
No, I love it. I'm
tell us more.
Yes.
Tell us more.
But so somebody had posted. It was like within like it was on entrepreneurial Twitter. So. Because like there's always like the little like clicks on Twitter, right? So this lady was like one of like the entrepreneurial what'd you call them, Belinda? Oh, influencers,
yeah.
So this person was like, oh, one of the best things I ever did when I started my company was I hired what's it called? Executive assistant, remote from like Chile or something. And I pay them like $15 an hour so that they're like on a livable wage. And just wait. And then she like lists off like everything that this person does. Like they make appointments, they like make their network, so they're interacting with a bunch of people and connecting her with like individuals, like different vulture capitalists. And we'll also do other things like manage all of her meetings. She'll run their meetings, she'll take notes of all the meetings, everything. And it's like, okay, so you're paying this person $15 an hour while you make hundreds of thousands of dollars a fucking year.
And they do all the legwork.
They do all the legwork. And it's only because you had the money and like the little office politics connections to be able to get that position as CEO. So you have the resources to get up to that level, and then you just contract out, you just outsource all the hard work, and then you take in all the profit from it. Yeah. Like, I feel like that's at like that's, I feel like what you're talking about, Spencer, when you're saying like they're starting hundreds of yards ahead of you. They're all of us, like most like people are so privileged and they live in this bubble. And I'm not trying to like compare like my privilege to anybody else's privilege. I'm just saying that like you forget that when you reach that level, and then you start criticizing.
Yeah, I mean,
it like blinds you.
White privilege is something that's bandied about and thrown around, and I get it. You know, I try to be the voice of reason here and like lower the temperature and shit. But being in Utah is interesting. I read the local news comments quite a bit, and I see people.
You shouldn't do
that. Don't do that. It's awful.
I see people going like, "Oh, I didn't do that. I'm not racist." I'm like, okay, cool. I get what you're saying. Cool, maybe not. But can you understand that this is my lived experience? Like, this is my fucking lived experience here, and that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you're a card-carrying member of the Ku Klux Klan, but recognize that you have advantages that I don't have. Like, that is fucking real.
So.
Yeah. It's fucking real.
So just to finish off this thought that I was having, a lot of times leftists are criticized because they get really into the weeds about classism and about like, so like when I think of prejudices, I kind of think of it in the lens of classism. But what people tend to forget is classism and racism are intertwined. They're almost one and the same, because who I'm not going to get into it because I'm going to get into a long rant. When I try to relate like my privilege compared to like a billionaire's privilege, like what I'm trying to do is get people to realize that like the same sort of oppression that people who do have white privilege, the oppression that they can feel sometimes in their workplace can be related to other people's type of oppression. And it doesn't make any sense to me why they can't make those dots and be like, I see what you're saying. I can see how you're being oppressed. I can see how your lived experiences are being impacted by this. So it's not that I'm like trying to compare like my privilege to someone else's. I'm just trying to compare like to show that like we are being oppressed and we need to recognize that oppression and we need to work together to end it.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense, or am I just rambling?
No, it does. And I think it ties in nicely with some of the other big news of the week. Prince Philip.
Oh my God.
The fucking
walking skeleton?
Prince. Well, yeah. He died.
Wait, what?
He died this week.
Prince, what's his fucking name?
Philip. Husband of Queen Elizabeth. They were married for like 840,000 years. No, poor dude, you know, good on him for finally letting go, because he was a walking skeleton for a long fucking time. Yeah, lived to be like just shy of 100 years, just like Joseph Smith married girls just shy of their 15th birthday. But
how infuriating that would be. Like, you just want to like get up to that round number, just like 3 digits, and you just
Right?
yeah, it's like man, just let me hold on. But no,
okay. Maybe I'm gonna unzip your brains here for a minute, but
Fair.
isn't it amazing how much in life is fucking made up? Like this idea
so
of
much.
This idea of royalty. It's like, who the fuck cares?
It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit.
It's just like some people get so wrapped up in it. I'm like, cool, I get it's a hobby, whatever. But seriously, like, if you think about it, people, this is all fucking made up.
It's the same as religion.
Why are you so wrapped up in this bullshit?
Same as religion.
So somebody mentioned that Prince Philip was older than India's independence, meaning
I saw that.
He's not the descendant of
he's a fucking
colonialists.
Colonizer.
Yeah,
he's a fucking colonizer.
He's a
Thank
colonizer.
you, Kevin. He's a fucking colonizer.
So like, yeah,
it's true.
Have you guys? Wait,
thank
sorry,
you,
Kevin.
Thank you, my daughter, who told me that. Yeah.
I mean, Jamaica got independence in 1962.
Jesus,
1962.
Yeah.
That's only 10 years older than me.
79 years ago, dude. 79.
When
69.
59.
That's
59.
barely longer
59.
than his marriage.
He's 10 years older than me.
59. Oh yeah, 59 years ago. Holy fuck, you're right.
Kevin's like 79. Wait a minute.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
I'm not that
Hold
old.
on.
It's nothing. We celebrate it every year because hell yeah, we're
Fuck
independent.
yeah.
Cool.
Fuck you, colony.
Prince Philip was part of that shit.
Yep, he was.
Yeah.
So when people
And they
think of
still
history, they think of like it was so far away. Like, oh, all the civil rights movement stuff. It was so long ago.
No.
Like women not being able to have credit cards in their own name. Oh man, that was so long ago. No, it wasn't. It was just a couple decades ago. We still have people alive. We still have women alive that weren't able to have credit cards when they were younger. Like, we still have Black people alive that had to suffer through all the crazy shit that happened.
Ruby Bridges herself, right? Like, is only in her early 60s. Isn't that the case?
Sure.
Like, she's young.
Yeah. What I was gonna say was,
right
have you guys seen? Oh shit, I'm gonna forget the name. I'm so tired. It's the movie about Queen Elizabeth, or not the movie, the TV series about
The Crown.
The Crown.
Oh, I haven't
Why are
seen
you
it yet.
tired, Will? Did you like not sleep, or
Fucking
you just
sleep,
never
dude.
sleep because you're
Fucking
fucking
sleep.
vampire?
I don't even know what
Vampire Gen Z.
No, there was in like the first season, there was like a scene where I think it might have been Queen Elizabeth goes to Africa and they're being like walked around on a throne held up by Black people.
Yep.
Was that Prince Philip?
Guess what? That shit happens now.
Oh.
That shit happens right now. Did you not watch the fucking Oprah special? Jesus Christ, Will.
Jesus.
Wait, are Belinda and I the only ones who watched the Oprah special?
I never watched the Oprah
amazing.
special. I just heard about it.
It was actually really,
It was
really educational and good, because guess what? They still do that. They like when especially when you get married as a royal or whatever, you and your wife spend a year traveling around the world to the various colonies or former colonies and like getting the
Commonwealths.
They call it the royal treatment, right? Like,
oh my God.
they fucking carry them around and like treat them like, I mean, it actually, to be honest, I know we don't always need to go to Mormonism, but it reminds me of like when Russell Nelson or fucking Tom Monson or whatever travel around the world, and then you see them going to places where the people are barely subsisting on, just barely getting by, right? Well, and they're fucking treating them to like these special things. What the fuck did you do for me lately, motherfuckers?
Didn't they just go on a tour last year of Africa begging Africans to give them tithing? Like,
yes,
sounds about right.
So it's the same thing with the royal family. It's the same thing, honestly, to some degree, with American politicians as they travel around the world for various things. Like, colonialism is a real thing. Racism is a real thing. that's never stopped and is ongoing. And colonialism, even though we think of ourselves as America as the OG, like, fuck colonialism, we're going on our own bitches.
America literally has a colony right now.
Yes.
It's called Puerto Rico.
Yes. Puerto Rico.
It's literally a colony.
And guess
Tonga,
what happens?
Right? Tonga is another one. Or Samoa.
Yeah, there's American
Samoa.
US Virgin Islands. Or
yeah, we've got several. Sorry.
A lot of stuff.
And in Puerto Rico, they have
whiskey's getting frisky.
It's like banks have been going there and been making these like massive deals with the local government of Puerto Rico, and they like have given them like really shitty loans that they can't default on. Like these banks are literally owning Puerto Rico, and they can't do anything about it unless they become a state.
I think,
but like the citizens of Puerto Rico should make that decision for themselves. It shouldn't be like, oh, you guys are now
us saying you're part of us now.
Yeah, it definitely, if they wanna be their own country, we should allow them to be their own country. If they want to join the America, they should be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
There's a side note. Sorry, Kevin. You were talking about.
No, I'm just like, fuck the royal family. Like, it's interesting. Like, so side note here. Linda and I went to London a couple of years.
Side note, or
year and a half ago.
Side note, or just the tip with Kevin.
Well, I already did just a tip, but you were gone, I think.
Oh,
when we did that. But Belinda and I went to London, and it was badass.
It was amazing. Yeah,
it was incredible. But this is all pre-COVID, obviously, and shit. But we, towards the very end of our trip, I was like, oh shit, it was Belinda's first trip to London, and I've been there a few times. So
you're like, you haven't seen the changing of the guard.
Oh, we should go watch the changing of the guard, because it's like one of those things, you know, like I don't really give a shit about it.
You just like, do it.
Yeah.
You just do it because it's what you do when you're in London.
Yeah.
So we just happened to go, but it happened to be the day that the Queen was doing some such shit with the fucking government. I don't know. It was the opening day of government season, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Parliament something.
So she literally, like, we'd gone to the Tower of London maybe the day before or something, and we went to see the crown jewels and shit, and one of the crowns was missing, and it said, oh, Queen Elizabeth's using this right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were like, oh, she had to go to Walgreens. She needed her crown.
It's like, I got to go out to pick up my prescriptions, so I'm going to go to the tower and get... No, but so apparently it was because when she opens, it's not Congress, but like whatever.
Parliament,
Parliament, yeah. She wears her crown and, you know, does her nails and shit. So we just happened to go. It was our last chance to go see Changing of the Guard. So I'm like, let's just go check it out. It's quick and easy. Like, and you can see Buckingham Palace and whatnot.
And there were a million people there. I was like, are there always this many
going
people
on? Yeah,
here?
like. And it was because Queen Elizabeth had been out, and they take a fucking
golden fucking carriage,
like a literal, like solid gold carriage pulled by horses, like dozens of horses and shit. And like there's soldiers in the park behind us shooting off cannons on their horses and shit. Like it was wild. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But what was my point?
Seeing the Queen come through in her golden carriage.
No,
and Prince Philip.
I guess what I'm saying is, in my opinion, the royals should be nothing more than a celebrity, right? They're fucking Sean Penn. They're fucking Khloe Kardashian. They're fucking Kanye West. They're
Evan.
You know what I mean?
Royals.
You're saying exactly
we'll
what.
Never be royals. Yeah.
The last point I wanted to make was, here in America we have royalty too. Like. We have Jeff Bezos, we have Elon Musk, we have Mark Zuckerberg, we have Bill Gates. Like we have all these rich people that are
worshipped,
royalty, and they get treated like royalty. Don't ever say anything mean about Elon Musk on Twitter, because all of his subjects will come after you, and like all this shit. Like we have royalty here in America. It's just not necessarily a royalty. It's just an oligarchy. That's all it is, or a plutocracy. Whatever of the two fits better.
All of the above, yeah. Now I want to listen to Lord, but yeah. No, I guess what I'm saying too is like, one of the interesting things that came out of the Oprah interview is, and I'm reading between the lines here, but I think most of America read between the lines in the exact same way. It sounds like Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip are all right. Like they were like okay with like a person of color marrying their grandson or whatever. And like it's probably fucking Prince Charles and maybe even Prince William that were the assholes, but whatever. You know, comment in the YouTube video or whatever if you disagree with my assessment there. But regardless of if they're good people or bad
you can
people,
email Kevin at kevinjensen.com.
Yes, exactly. Do that, and I wonder who will
it will not get sent back to you.
They're fucking not. What do you fucking call it? 90-gentarian? No.
What the fuck?
There's octogenarian, but
what's
like,
a 90-something person?
Nanogotarian.
Nanobot. They're a nanobot. Yeah.
Nanobotarian.
You got two fucking nanobots here, like Elizabeth and Philip, right? Like they're totally fucking inbred. Like look it up. It's true.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there is, but like whatever. It happens all over the place.
That part's not their fault.
I'm not calling them out for that. Is what I'm saying. But guess what? They're normal fucking people. There's nothing special about them.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about Russell fucking Nelson. There's nothing special about what's his name? It's not his name. Who knows what the fuck his name is? Pope Francis. There's nothing special about any of these people.
There's nothing special about Elon Musk. There's nothing special about Bill Gates. There's nothing special about Mark Zuckerberg.
We're all just fucking humans. And some of us work harder than others. Some of us are naturally more talented at other things than others. But
some of us are born into rich families.
Whether you believe in God or not, God didn't give anyone any special abilities in order to make them leaders and, you know, give us all orders, give us all like, I don't know.
Except for Aquariuses, because Aquariuses are the best.
So. Aquarius.
Age of Aquarius.
Okay, this brandy is fucking me up.
Are you drinking it straight?
No,
Kevin.
Kevin,
here, let me have some more. Yeah.
Oh my god! It looked like on my screen. It looked like Kevin just handed Belinda the bottle.
It's 40. What's your name again? Will. It's 40% alcohol. I'm fucked up. I'm so fucked up.
Well, here's the thing. This
40%.
With 3 ounces of 80 proof plus, because my Absinthe is way above 80 proof, but yeah, this is a fuck you up type cocktail.
Yeah,
it's 40%.
Stay golden. Pony.
This reminds me of the Moscow Mule episode. That's how I feel right now.
Moscow Mules is.
Yeah, I've been able to hold my tongue because I've been wanting to say so much shit about Elon Musk right now. Like,
say it.
I know.
Say it all.
I know.
Oh wait. I
No,
just
I'm
applied
not-
for
I'm
a
not
job
going
at
there 'cause I
Tesla.
would go off. Yeah, no, we need a wrap because I will go off about him.
I will fall asleep before you go off.
Do you just need me
so
to
you
do
could
it?
you could probably go off and it'll be all good.
Have I said fuck
No,
you
I'll probably
to
fall
anyone
asleep
this
too.
You
episode?
did not say fuck you, Ralph, today.
Fuck Ralph Hancock. Fuck Ralph Hancock. Fuck Ralph Hancock. Sorry.
And on that
So
note,
I made a second cocktail, but I can't even.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Nightcap.
Ah, yeah!
One day.
No.
One day.
Fuck the billionaires, because you know what? I can say fuck you to them and they're still gonna live a fucking
They will be
badass
okay.
lifestyle.
The billionaires will be
fine,
okay.
They'll be fine.
Fuck the billionaires and fuck Ralph Hancock.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos literally got divorced and he's still one of the richest people in the world. Like,
And so is his ex-wife.
Yeah, she is.
And she gave a bunch of it away, but whatever.
To her high school.
okay, you know what? She gave a bunch of it away and then she made more than she gave away. You know what that's called? That's just called fake giving away. You know, if you're going to give away money and be philanthropic or whatever it's called, is that whatever?
Philanthropic. That's when you go to. That's when you go on vacation to Hawaii.
You're getting so fucking tropical.
Philanthropic.
No, that's exactly the right word.
You want to braid your pubes. Make the locals do it.
That is exactly the right word, because
Cubic cornrows on the beach.
They go and they buy fucking islands for themselves. Jeff Bezos has a fucking island to himself. It's so they have so much money that they could just be like, yeah, I'm gonna give away like $30 billion and it will mean nothing to them.
Does he give free shipping to his island?
Who knows?
It's a half day
delivery
shipping.
driver
Kevin.
that has to pee in a bottle.
Half day shipping. Yes.
He has a whole team of robots.
There's no doubt he has one day
building
shipping
whatever he
to his
wants.
island. If it's like
No,
I want
there's
something,
no
I'm gonna
doubt.
fucking get it.
He's got a distribution center on his island.
Probably.
He probably has so many minions. It's not even a day. It's probably like 20 minutes. He's like
the
I want this
yellow
thing,
ones?
and it gets delivered to him.
An army of ultrasonic drones that bring whatever he wants right
Like
away, right?
Kevin the
No,
Minion
they're just underpaid workers. It doesn't need to be robots.
or yellow people.
What?
No, like the
minions?
The
Oh.
minions. Yes. I didn't mean that in any racial
Kevin,
way.
Kevin.
Like the movie. That's why I said Kevin the
Kevin
Minion.
has
not
been canceled. Everyone.
No,
He's
Jesus.
no longer allowed to speak.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? Kevin and I were mentioning we need another yurt night for the four of us.
We do. We need. Well, they can just be in my sex cult tent.
Yes.
From now on.
Oh, Kevin, we're not supposed to announce that yet.
No one knows where it is. That's fine. Yeah.
All right.
Well, more about the sex cult later.
I'm not well.
Get in early.
So if you want to continue hearing from us, follow us on Twitter at ThirstPod. I suck really bad at updating that, but our Facebook page is fucking awesome. So follow us at Thirst Impressions and
podcast, our
Thirst Impressions podcast, and we have awesome show notes that we do every week at
.show.
thirstimpressions.show.
Yes.
Boom.
And guess what? Go to all the places: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, fucking YouTube, motherfucking YouTube,
MF YouTube.
Follow. Wait, no, subscribe. Follow the prophet.
Kevin. Follow the Kevin.
He was literally playing that the other night. Like he found some remix.
I was searching something
was
on
a
Spotify.
co-host, and she did it with Will.
What?
Oh my god!
Spencer is gone, man.
He's totally gone.
Kevin's laugh just now was like
I know.
Joker from the Joker movie.
Oh god.
And that's
all right,
have you seen that movie, by the way, Joker?
No,
I haven't.
Are you fucking kidding me? You've seen it, Will.
Too scary.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, your homework, should you choose to accept it before this message self-destructs, is to watch the Joker.
What is it about the Joker that's so?
You just have to watch
view-worthy?
it. We can't even talk. Will and I cannot speak with you about it until you watch it.
Don't speak.
Yep.
I know just what you're thinking.
Yeah, can I just tell you?
So just stop playing.
Can I tell you the last Batman movie I watched was in 1989, I think?
No, Kevin, you have not seen the Dark Knight trilogy?
Has that guy died? What's his name?
Oh my god, stop.
Michael Keaton.
Stop it. You stop it. And you haven't seen Birdman, so
I've seen the Birdcage?
Birdman.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Kevin.
The Birdcage?
I love the Birdcage.
Birdman.
Robin Williams.
You have to
yeah,
watch
it was great.
No,
not Robin Williams. He was dead.
Okay. This
Birdcage
is
was
the
Robin
This is
Williams.
the last episode of Thirst Impressions podcast right here, because Kevin and Belinda apparently have not seen Birdman.
Birdman's
For
I've
the
never
Dark
even
Knight
heard of it.
trilogy.
Never heard of it.
Oh my god.
I'm looking at it.
I
can't. I can't.
I've watched enough TV shows and movies for all of us in this group, honestly. So
Will, you're gonna have to close this one out because I can't speak with.
Oh
Kevin.
no, I feel like we've already closed it out. I feel like we're already in the after. Like
subscribe.
Yeah, we could end it when Kevin said that. Seriously.
Okay. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Oh,
Love you.
Go get some Calvados and fuck yourself up. 40% alcohol. I'm just saying.
It's delicious to the taste.
I did not
Spencer
make
says, "Go fuck yourself."
Go fuck yourself. We're not here to fuck you. You go fuck yourself.
do it.
It's pleasurable. Yeah.
It's important. It's important to fuck yourself. I'm
It
just
is
saying.
true.
It's
Yeah.
self-
It's important.
If
It is
if
very
you're
important
nervous,
to fuck
They
yourself.
sell lubricants. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Who's gonna love you if you don't?
I would go
True.
with silicone lubricants. I'm just saying, unless you're allergic.
I've
but
never used. Have any of you used? What's the male version of a vibrator? What's that called?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking
Fleshlight.
about.
Cock ring?
Fleshlight.
Oh yeah, I've used a flashlight.
Oh, I've never used one before. Is
You
it?
should try it
Does
out.
it work?
Yeah,
I would say, normally when someone's like, I've never used that. I've never used a Sawzall.
No, I
And then,
haven't.
and then your buddy's like, hey,
Sawzall.
could I borrow that? But I wouldn't lend you. No.
You're not gonna lend.
I'm
not
not
be
gonna
okay.
borrow your flashlight. I don't want to stick my dick in your hole.
That would not be okay. That would not be okay.
Any of your holes, whether they're yours or they're purchased.
I mean, I'm not a prude, but I'm just saying, like, that might be a bit.
No,
much.
I'm not asking to borrow your flashlight.
I'm just saying about
I'm just saying, I'm skeptical of their efficacy. Is that a word? Efficacy.
Okay. True story. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. True
Let's
story.
hear it. Yeah.
So I had
came in a
sex. I had
fleshlight.
sex with someone,
Yeah, of
and it
course.
was kind of a one-time thing, right?
Okay.
And I thought, okay,
Not
cool.
for me.
But I had a flashlight at the time, and I used my flashlight. And then
Wait, how do you fuck someone and use a flashlight?
afterward, dude,
Oh,
Oh,
Afterward.
okay.
Like
immediately afterward.
no,
It was-
people have needs.
because you were like,
Belinda.
it didn't really.
Humans have needs. Okay. So got a rash, and I was like, oh shit, did I pick up an STI?
But it
Because
was-
admittedly, I was not careful at the time.
Mm.
Turns out I'm allergic to silicone.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So that's my.
So no fucking.
You can
fake
read
things
between the
here.
lines.
Yeah.
Read between the lines, listeners. You'll figure it out. But I'm allergic to silicone. Turns out.
Oh, wow.
There you
Well,
go.
aren't you supposed to use water-based lubricant if you're using condoms?
Are you, or is it silicone based?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know.
otherwise it
I
breaks
don't
it
know.
down.
I don't fucking know.
You should use. If
I think so.
I'm
I've
not
always
mistaken.
used a silicone based lubricant.
Yeah, I think.
Always?
That might be why you have 2 kids. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Holy
no,
shit.
no offense, Ollie and Leo. Oh fuck! I said their names. Don't.
It's
don't
okay,
include
it's
this
all
part.
Take it out, take it out. No,
I don't know what you're
I have
talking
a
about.
Take it out,
relative.
take it out.
We're,
That's
we're-
what she
guys,
said.
We're already done with the show. We already closed
know.
it out.
Yeah.
Should we pull it out?
No, no.
Yeah,
Thank
pull
you
it
for
out.
listening, everyone. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Twitter at ThirstPod. We're at thirstimpressions.show.
We already said this.
If
shit.
you want to visit the website, did we?
Yeah,
And you can
we
find us on
wrapped.
Facebook,
I
Instagram,
think we
whatever.
wrapped 48 minutes ago.
Apparently,
I think we
before.
wrapped 10 times.
I,
Okay,
I think
love-
this is our fourth or
That's
fifth
a good
wrap.
way to not get
It's okay.
STIs. Wrapped
I mean,
10 times.
Sometimes you have to wrap it extra times for extra protection. So it's
Double
okay.
bag it, baby.
Double
It's hard
bag
to
that
finish
shit.
sometimes when you double and
That is
triple.
true. That is true. It
It's
does.
like,
It does
God
lessen
damn it.
sensitivity.
And
Yes.
also, you should not use 2 condoms. You should only.
Why not? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, because it'll increase the friction between the 2 and make it so it's more
That
likely.
makes sense, actually. That actually.
I had no idea, but good to know.
Yeah.
Will dropping wisdom on us. All right, thank you everyone.
Will's wisdom.
Will's wisdom, and just a tip of Kevin
Wickety Will's wisdom.
and Belinda's bites. I don't have
Whoa,
it.
there we go.
I don't have an
Get a few of
alliteration
those.
for myself.
Spencer's stuff.
Spencer stuff. Spencer stuff.
Stuffing it with Spencer.
You got stuffing it with Spencer. All right. Okay. Love you all. Take care. Oh fuck! I'm gonna have to edit this shit.
You know, we have to do an intro. Cuckold, cum, and calvado. I'm gonna do like 14 C words and end with cunt.
I took some notes. Calvados, Confederacy, and cult. You could do culture, Calvados, Confederacy, or colonialism.
Colonialists.
Donkey punch.
Colonialism.
Calvados, Confederacy, clitoris, cum.
Calvados, Confederacy, and colonialism.
Clitoris. Clitori, the plural.